It is our privilege to welcome you all to the second edition of WomenPreneur Awards 2024, recognizing her excellence by HerZindagi.com, the lifestyle vertical of Jagran New Media. I am Smriti Rastogi, political editor, Jagran TV, Jagran New Media, and I will be hosting you all for this evening, where we are celebrating women who have made a remarkable contribution to the business industry with their unwavering, persistent efforts. Before we go ahead with the program schedule, I would like to take a minute to introduce the context of our very prestigious awards this evening. After the successful first edition last year, we are back with a much promising second edition. HerZindagi.com spotlights the talented and committed female entrepreneurs who are committed to resilience, triumphs, and breakthroughs in the dynamic world of business. These awards are a beacon designed to honor and celebrate the achievements of women leaders across various business categories. HerZindagi.com is India's #1 women's lifestyle website. Launched in 2017, under the Jagran New Media umbrella, HerZindagi is a for women and by women website that delivers its promise of educating, entertaining, and engaging with the readers. From inspiring stories of women role models to fashion updates, from travel to recipe ideas, and from financial advice to women's safety, we have our readers covered. With over 16 million plus readers putting their faith in us, we endeavor to deliver high quality and credible content day after day. Before we commence the program, I would like to mention the valuable support of our partners without whom this event would have not been possible. Our banking partner, IDBI Bank, our networking partner, ABWCI, and our gifting partner, Shehnaz Hussain. Ladies and gentlemen, before we commence the event officially, I request you all to kindly put your hands together for the very important cause which we are celebrating this evening, the WomenPreneur Award 2024. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all of us who have gathered here to celebrate this excellence. And to understand what these awards mean for us, there is an event AV. I would request my team to kindly play the same.
HerZindagi.com presents the WomenPreneur Awards, celebrating the indomitable spirit, conviction, and sheer grit of women leaders, honoring business champions who are changing the narrative around women and women-led brands. The WomenPreneur Awards has seen a phenomenal response with hundreds of nomination entries from across the country. A jury comprising of stalwarts in the segment of leadership, technology and entrepreneurship have then painstakingly reviewed and rated these nominations to arrive at winners in different categories. Tonight, we felicitate the victories while also honoring the hardships and obstacles that they conquered. The WomenPreneur Awards is a salute to the hard work, dedication, belief, and values that have brought these leaders to the pinnacle of success.
What a powerful start, ladies and gentlemen, to the evening. Let us all put our hands together as a gesture of appreciation to the efforts which have gone behind making this event possible. Thank you. And as we embark on this incredible journey, we have a special video message from Ms. Megha Mamgan, Managing Editor, Health and Lifestyle, Jagran New Media. So let's listen in.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of HerZindagi.com, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the second edition of the WomenPreneur Awards. The usual expectation from a women lifestyle website, in fact from women, is that our key focus is going to be gossip, shopping, makeup, the usual flaws. I'm very happy to say that HerZindagi.com smashes that stereotype every single day. We don't run after clicks, and we believe in authentic stories, the kinds that need to be seen, heard and celebrated, and hence the WomenPreneur Awards initiative. It is no wonder then that 20 million readers from across the world visit HerZindagi.com month on month. clearly the world needs a change because we've battled the stereotype long enough that women need to stay at home to cook, clean and take care of their families. Ambition, which is considered a virtue in men, is frowned upon in women because ambitious women are considered selfish. A good woman, on the other hand, is one who needs her man to change her light bulb and handle her money, right? Well, all the women in the audiences, let's give that notion a big, loud LOL because you are really proving that notion wrong. And how? You and thousands of women entrepreneurs from across the country are not only challenging but smashing the stereotype that women and businesses don't go together. All of you are testament to the fact that the world needs women in businesses. It's a no-brainer, really. We are much more empathetic, we are more efficient, we have greater communication skills, we can handle crises better, and we can help close that gender pay gap. But most importantly, women are as good in doing business as anyone else. Tonight, HerZindagi's attempt with the WomenPreneur Awards initiative is to give a platform to this very idea, to shine a light on the phenomenal work that women from across the country are doing in running their businesses successfully, in creating jobs and also contributing to the nation's economy. Your work, your journeys and the challenges that you face is going to inspire so many others who are harboring that dream of entrepreneurship but hesitate because they've been told business is not for women. As the managing editor of the health and lifestyle verticals at Jagran New Media, my heart and mind is with all of you today at the event. But as a new mom of 2-month-old twins, I have to resort to technology to connect with all of you today. And that's another thing women are good at, balancing and prioritizing. A call for entries this year for the awards was met with resounding interest. So many of you reached out to our teams. Thank you so much. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our knowledge partners, Association for Business Women in Commerce and Industry. And of course, we would simply not be able to decide the winners in each category had it not been for our very wise jury. And I would really like to thank all of the jury members for their time and for their involvement in the entire selection process. Also, a big shout out to all the team members who've put together the WomenPreneur Awards. You've done a fabulous job, and best wishes to all the nominees. But remember, win or lose tonight, you are champions already. Enjoy the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megha, for setting the context of the evening and spreading so much of positivity amongst all of us. And it is under your able leadership that the success of this event is resonating. With this, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a special address by Dr. Tina Kapoor Sharma, National Advisor, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India. A brief into her illustrious career first. As you reach the stage, I'll read out the achievements which you have made over a period of so many years. She is a TEDx speaker, prestigious National Teachers Award jury member, has written papers on public policy and financial inclusion for central government and state governments, National Advisor for MSME Ministry and Government of India, and 25 years of public service life. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all put our hands together for this vibrant personality who has joined us this evening, Dr. Tina Kapoor Sharma.
Thank you so very much for kind words. There's nothing greater than, getting your hard work justified in the public. I think we all look for that, and there's no shame in looking for that because we strongly believe the more you compliment, the more you glow. And I think women who are sitting here would love to hear that from everyone around them, and that is needed. That is, we're human, and that's absolutely needed. Now, I have only 10 minutes to speak. We have a lot of speakers. I have picked up only 2 words today. One is that your idea, and one is the execution. We can always call it commitment. Why I have picked up that? Because I was not even graduate when I got married. And I said that on many platforms. Not even graduate, I was just a housewife. When I got married, I was 23. I delivered my first baby, who's 20 now, at 25. At the age of 25, I realized this is kitchen, this is my child, these are my in-laws, and that's my husband. So I think when you see that, and when you have dreams in your eyes, which are not being fulfilled due to certain constraint or the orthodox mindset of family or whatever. I mean, I'm not getting into that because everybody has different scenario. And you will not even believe that I could not speak anything beyond, any English word beyond sorry and thank you till about 2001 and 2. So you can see, we are here to set examples so that people like you who are coming from great backgrounds, who are coming from humble backgrounds, should get the inspiration. And we are just 10 minutes what I can give you. I can just give you good vibes, a nice hug, a smiling face, or probably my contact number to get in touch. Nothing else. So we didn't had anything like that, honestly. I never had anything like that. I had no inspiration around. I had everybody, saying that, look after your child, don't pick up any job. And I was not even graduate, I told you. I did my graduation later. I was thrown out of a college stating that Bharati Vidyapeeth, Paschim Bihar, stating that our, the complete study material is in English and you can't speak, you can't speak anything. So we are sorry, you can take your full refund back. And that was in 2002. Then I realized I finished my graduation with 45% marks. Then I did my master's, MA twice, MA, then master's, then my doctorate. And then what matters is, see, this is your hard work. Now we all agree that we need opportunity. That one opportunity given by somebody is very heavy on your 50 years of hard work or 20 years of hard work. Do you agree to that? So if you don't receive an opportunity, you will not have chance to perform. Your stars, either you call it stars or you call it destiny or you call it anything you want to call it, you call it. I mean, I don't mind, you thinking a bit on that. But then I strongly believe that, I got the opportunity by somebody like any of us, a human, and I performed. Then I never needed favor from anyone. And that was not even favor. That was something where I was given a task and I did that. But anyways, it's not that easy. What I talk from here, when I'm standing at the, podium and giving speech, that's only 10 minutes. I can only give you a brief of it. But the background is 30 years. I was just 15 when I realized that, I have to get married. Because my dadis will be probably, looking at my marriage because everybody was like, Dadi ji, bimar hai. But Dadi ji only died when my daughter was 13. So sorry, So that's a bad joke. So Dadi ji died when my daughter was 13 and she wanted another child. Anyways, that's everybody has a different story. So we had this kind of taboo in this society. We are not differentiating between men and women. I believe in gender parity very strongly, very, very strongly. Execution in the idea, 2 words we've picked up, or execution, idea, whatever you say it, commitment. What you do with it matters. First and foremost, I would like to say that, what I have grabbed in my life in last almost 7-8 years, I've realized that, once you speak less, you gain more. So pick up that from here, please. All women should pick up that from here. I see a lot of women, sitting calm, not saying anything. They just energize their own body and mind. And that is very important. That comes on your face. That comes on your face. 10-15 साल पहले तक मैं भी ऐसी थी. कोई बात है तो, complaint करना, बोलना. Suddenly I realized that I don't have to complain to anyone because there's no one to listen to it. India is full of jugaad. Today my daughter called up from London and said that, Mama, this is my second year. If you are arranging some internship with big fashion brand, then only I'll come to India. Otherwise, I'm doing it with Fendi. I said, you apply, last year you applied with Emporio, you got it. So she said, no, Mama. I applied with Emporio, they needed somebody, I got through in first interview. That was a different take. This time I tried, I've been trying for last 6 months, I'm not getting anything. It's all jugaad, one word, one favor, one reference. That goes in India. And I will not shy away because I have to give you the right information. I will not say that जुगाड़ इंडिया में काम नहीं करता है. आपको नौकरी चाहिए, आपको जुगाड़ चाहिए. 1000 CV जाते हैं, उसमें से एक CV पिकअप होता है. वो CV कहीं ऊपर से आता है, वो 1000 CV दिखते भी नहीं है. And that's all over. Trust me, that's all over. And she's told me that London has nothing like that. She's applied for Fendi, she got through with Fendi on her merit. So I think that's where we need to change. Second thing, the idea you have might be a bigger idea, might be something which can blast the world. But if you don't execute it, and you're wavering, you have wavering mind that, I should do this, I should sit on one debate, I'll make my face, I'll go on media. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. You will get thousands of chances when you perform, when you deliver, when you come up in the area where your name can be seen in media, your name can be seen in newspapers. I was nothing, I told you. Till about 2004, I was nothing. Nothing. A housewife turned entrepreneur, a housewife turned social service, giver probably, you can say. I'm second time advisor to the government of India. This is not jugaad, of course. This is something which I've earned. So I think let's applaud for the women who've made it to this hall, and you'll make it big, that I know for sure. Have resilience, understand your potential, energize yourself, have a nice, calm face, dress up beautifully, that's what I can say. Look nice, speak nice. When you open your mouth, people should be impressed. That's what I want to say, because we all come with, some or the other justification or some of the other errors, probably in our nose or eyes or ears or छोटे बाल हैं, थोड़े कम बाल हैं, तो वो सब तो भगवान ने दिया है. But जो दिया है भगवान ने वो ये दिया है कि what we ideate and what we execute and what we speak. If you can align these three things, you will go ways. And that's what I want to say here. Thank you so very much. I'm glad that Jagran had been calling me for over and above, almost I think I've done 4-5 programs with them. I'm happy that I'm part of this Jagran. And I'm more than happy because I'm addressing women gathering. And honestly, I feel very happy when I see hall full of women and few heads where, men are sitting. But I have seen in government, I've seen all 10 men sitting. Only I am, there or somebody else is there. So we are in minority in many of the places. But when I see a hall full of majority, no offenses to men. But then when I see that, I feel very happy. And I think what you take back is idea and the execution. And what you speak matters. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tina Kapoor. It was really inspiring listening to you, and I'm sure that women in the audience have had learnings from your journey, and definitely it will motivate them in future also for success in their life. I would request Mr. Gaurav Arora, COO of Jagran New Media, to kindly come up on the stage and felicitate Dr. Tina Kapoor Sharma. And indeed, it was lovely having you here.
Thank you.
And that was a very inspirational address.
Thank you. You had given me 10 minutes, so I had to justify it. I'm okay with even 5 minutes.
And before the event started, we were having a discussion also with Dr. Tina Kapoor, and we spoke on a number of subjects, and her story indeed is very inspiring. Thank you once again. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite on the stage our other eminent guest, Ms. Samriddhi Bhattacharya, Director and General Manager, Small Business, Dell India, for the keynote address. Let us all put our hands together and welcome Ms. Bhattacharya on the stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and privilege to be speaking to all of you today evening, and definitely glad to be part of this Jagran New Media event. Thank you for inviting me and having me amongst all of you. So I represent the Small Businesses and Startup Division for Dell in India, which means obviously I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and also a lot of entrepreneurs on a personal capacity, ideating, understanding their pain points and see how we as a society can solve some of their problems. So as a part of the journey, a very key, I would say, one of the key things that I'm working with is around the women entrepreneurs and people like all of you who I closely engage with, be it solving some of their technical initiative, be it solving some of the funding related issues, and so on and so forth. So, why do we need women entrepreneurs? Women are probably constituting 70 to 80% of the consumers worldwide. A study showed around probably 18 trillion has been contributed around 2018 or 19 by women alone. So definitely that's a huge consumer base. But unfortunately, when it comes to business, there are lots of questions raised on the capability of women to be able to execute businesses. But let us look at the positive side, right? Studies show that when women are contributing to business, it leads to improved education, health, and overall well-being, not only about women, but on a society at large. According to the MSME Ministry of Finance report, 20% of 63 million MSMEs are actually women-led. And if you look at the startup ecosystem, it is actually 14% of the total number of startups in India. We just concluded a startup challenge from Dell, and interestingly, out of the 4 finalists, 3 were women-led. And can you guess which areas they are working on? It is actually very, very high tech-led startups, okay? Bioprinting, where human organs can potentially be printed, not too far in the future because right now they're working on replicating the human cornea. The second startup is actually working on, it's called TerraLumen, so they are involving a technology to cure cancer and to precisely identify the cancer cells. The third startup is actually coming up with a medical device again, and it is solving breast cancer issues, right? So these are very high-tech-led startups, all led by women. So when it comes to having women lead startup discussion, I mean, the general stereotype, okay, this can be a fashion-led or something to do with lifestyle, but that is not true. I mean, I would like to echo what Mamta just said in her speech, that actually we have to break that stereotype. Today, if you see that research suggests around 27% of the workforce is actually doing STEM-related work, and that is where bulk of the gender gap is coming through. Which also means that the digital divide is also growing. People are not having sufficient access to information, and that is creating a great barrier because they do not know where to reach out for funding. They do not know which are those opportune places where that can connect them to the people they need to network with, to the industry network, right? So that financial dependence and the ability to keep up the pace of the business will only come when they have the self-esteem, when they can break that glass ceiling, and when they are able to move forward. So how do we break the stereotypes? How do we enable women to move forward? Because, we might celebrate, hundreds of women days. Like, the point is, like, if you go forward and, okay, this is Women's Day, and okay, we are celebrating the great women, but then that is not helping the cause, because, even Women Days and all these events that celebrates womanhood are not sufficient to break the stereotypes that has already been existing in the society for hundreds of years. And as Ms. Sudhamurthy just commented a few days back, is that men need to be an ally to women and step up in the kitchen work, because you can't expect that your wife will be working and then coming home and cooking and then feeding the babies. So there has to be, a change that has to come through. The second thing that I would like to address is that, again, breaking the stereotype, there is a lot of things in the society. Like I said, I was in a conference for women in San Francisco, and one of the things they kind of pointed out is that in the women's washroom, there is a diaper station. Why? I mean, ideally, parental responsibility has to be shared by both, and society is actually creating that stereotype, telling that you have to take care of your kid, which is important, no doubt, but there has to be an equal share from men and women. So unless we are able to break these stereotypes, will not, as women, we will not be able to move forward. So addressing the financial barriers will only come when women are given that push, that opportunity to explore information, to break the stereotypes. And VCs just contribute to 2.5% of women's businesses, which is so unfortunate. Some of the things that we see not only in this country, but in even advanced countries in the world, we see only 2.5% is the contribution of VCs in women-led businesses, because they feel that women can, they can just stop doing the business, or they may not see the potential. They may not see the potential of the women in a C-suite role. So all these things come into play when the investor decides to invest. So financial literacy and digital literacy are of utmost importance. And the second thing is that the STEM literacy that I just spoke about. Because mind you, out of 8 billion that was invested by the VCs in 2023, 6 billion went into STEM-led startups. Okay, so obviously all the AI-led startups, the Gen AI, if I may, all the EV-led startups, so all of them grabbed the lion's share of the investments. The third thing is cultivating a supportive community. I'm very glad to say that this is, probably the third or fourth event I am attending post Women's Day, and it is heartening to see a lot of women entrepreneurs coming together and participating in a platform like this. It is not only just to receive awards, it is also facilitating a network that can collaborate and push each other towards success, to excel in different ways, right? Sharing of information, interchange of ideas, and leading each other towards successes, to bypass the next hurdle, I would say. So, like I said, a mentorship platform is useful. Workshops has to be set up by women, for women, in a place like this where, you can exchange ideas, get in touch with women who are industry experts, get in touch with people from financial institutions. Yes, government support means a lot, and we are thankful to the Government of India who are taking, lots of initiative in this space to help women. There are lots of schemes that has come out like Mudra Yojana, which is helping women to move forward, but there is obviously a lot of scopes for improvement in this area as well. Now, I come from Dell, and I lead the small businesses vertical. And I would like to articulate how companies like Dell are actually, joining women hand in hand into this journey to empower them to be an ally in this kind of initiatives. And what we are doing is we are fostering a platform called the Dell Women Entrepreneur Network. And we started the platform formally in 2020 called Dwen.com. And right now, I'm happy to say we have 80,000 participants across 50 chapters globally, which is about 152 countries. So that's not a joke. So obviously, we have a lot of skin in the game to push this women-led entrepreneurs ecosystem into full force. We are spending around $3 billion annually behind women and minorities to help them scale up their startups and scale-ups to the next level, to put them in touch with the financial institutions where they can secure funds, to put them in touch with industrial experts where they can seek technical ideas, to do workshops with them, to ideate with them, and to help them go to market. And in the same way, we have started Entrepreneur Challenge globally, also globally and also in India, which we just concluded, which we call the Dell Entrepreneur Challenge. And here we also have a separate category for women, where we are inviting people from different backgrounds to come and present their ideas. And out of 1,700 participants, we select like 4 of them to, to get technical benefits from Dell. This is also a study which we do, and this is how, different cities can help foster the ecosystem for high potential women. Happy to say, out of 50 global cities, Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore featured among the top 20. So obviously, a lot of work has to be done in this regard, but obviously these are, those nurturing grounds where women can typically foster their businesses. So this is what I was just talking about. The idea is not about doing it alone. The idea is about doing it together as a society where, you have access to a network like this, you have access to big and smaller corporations who can help you in this journey. Together, it's a collective responsibility. It's not something that you can do alone and, move on. Because when women grow, the society at large, and India particularly, has a 51% women population. So just imagine the kind of opportunities we have for women in the ecosystem to contribute to the economy. Studies say 4 to 5% in the next 2-3 years of the GDP will be contributed by the startups. So if 14% is the contribution of women in startups, I would say that should scale up to a 30-40% actually, given so many of you are there in the room today with me. So, please do not give up on your dreams. Please push the boundaries and continue to break the glass ceiling and do what you do at your best level. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and glad to hear with you.
Sure. Thank you so much. We highly appreciate your valuable contribution by sharing your expertise with us through that extremely powerful presentation. And I would request Mr. Gaurav Arora, COO of Jagran New Media, to kindly come up on the stage and felicitate Ms. Samriddhi Bhattacharya. Can we have this applause a bit louder? Thank you, everyone. And this is the gifting hamper from the gifting partner, Shehnaz Hussain. And we are indeed grateful to you, Ms. Bhattacharya. And now with this, we are moving to the much awaited awards segment, where we are acknowledging the female entrepreneurs who own or partner in businesses. We celebrate their inspiring stories, achievements, and the challenges conquered. Our esteemed jury has played a pivotal role in deciding the winners of these awards. These visionaries possess the courage to initiate and develop new business ideas, creating opportunities not only for themselves, but for fellow women entrepreneurs. Let's get started with the first segment of the awards. I request Dr. Tina Kapoor Sharma, National Advisor, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, to kindly join us on the stage and present these few prestigious awards to the much deserving women entrepreneurs. Let us all put our hands together and welcome on the stage Ms. Tina Kapoor. So this is the first segment of the awards, and we are starting with the Health and Wellness Entrepreneur of the Year. The winner is Miss Saloni Anand, co-founder, Traya. Miss Saloni Anand, co-founder, Traya, for Health and Wellness Entrepreneur of the Year. Can someone from the team come on the stage and receive the award on behalf of Miss Saloni Anand? Let us all put our hands together for this achievement. And the next award is Editor's Choice Women Rising Star of the Year. Editor's Choice Women Rising Star of the Year. And the winner is Akriti Gupta from CanFem. Akriti Gupta from CanFem. Let us all ensure that the spirit and energy of this hall remains high, because we are today celebrating the achievements of women entrepreneurs for their remarkable journey. तो तालियों की गूंज लगातार अगर हॉल में रहेगी तो विनर्स का भी जो मनोबल है वो भी बढ़ता रहेगा. So a huge round of applause for the winner Akriti Gupta from CanFem. This brings us to the next award, which is Editor's Choice Investor Women Founder of the Year. And the winner is Sonam Srivastav from Right Research. Sonam Srivastav from Right Research. Do we have Sonam with us in the hall? I think someone from the team can come and receive the award on her behalf. This brings me to the next award, which is Editor's Choice Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year. And the winner is Diksha Singhi. Diksha Singhi from A Little Extra. Diksha Singhi from A Little Extra. This is Editor's Choice Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year. Sharma, for your kind gesture, and congratulations to all the winners. And ladies and gentlemen, with this, we have come to the other interesting part of the program, a very insightful panel discussion. In a world where challenges often seem insurmountable, these women have fearlessly pursued their entrepreneurial dreams, challenging norms and breaking barriers along their way. They have not only embraced innovation, but have also defied stereotypes, proving that gender is no barrier to their success. Throughout history, women have demonstrated remarkable resilience, creativity, and determination. Today, we honor those qualities as we shine a spotlight on the incredible stories of women who have transformed industries, pioneered groundbreaking technologies, and shattered glass ceilings. Their journey hasn't been easy, but through perseverance and passion, They have carved out their own paths, inspiring countless others to follow their footsteps. They are not just entrepreneurs, they are trailblazers, visionaries, and change makers of the society. As we come together to celebrate their achievements, let us also reflect on the importance of creating an inclusive environment where all individuals, regardless of gender, have equal opportunities to thrive and succeed. So without any further delay, let us delve into the topic, driving innovation and smashing prejudices, all in a day's work of women entrepreneurs. A very interesting topic. And to discuss this topic further, we have a panel of eminent guests with us. Ms. Diksha Singhi, founder, A Little Extra. Ms. Shalini Singh, founder, and we met. This panel discussion will be moderated by Roop Shah, manager content from HerZindagi. So I would request our guest and moderator to kindly come up on the stage and take their seats. And let's get started with this very pertinent discussion on a very important and topical issue.
Hello. Thank you so much, Smriti. So the gender gap in entrepreneurship is actually very real. And according to a recent Niti Aayog report, India ranked 70th among 77 countries on the Female Entrepreneurship Index. This is why hearing from women entrepreneurs and giving their voice significance is of utmost importance today. Today we are privileged to hear from two such entrepreneurs, and at the core of both their businesses lies innovation. So I'll start with Shalini. Shalini owns, is the founder of And We Met, which is a matchmaking service company. And to her, I'd like to ask that dating and matchmaking is a very populated marketplace. It's cluttered with a lot of different brands and apps. How is And We Met making its mark, and it's doing it differently?
Okay, is this working? Am I audible? I am? Okay, all right. Thanks so much, firstly, for having us over. Yes, I do agree that the matchmaking market is definitely, I think it's chaotic more than anything else. We've had the incumbent players, who moved from, the classified ads and newspapers, came up and they provide you digitally. And then we have the international players who brought in the swipe culture. How we differentiate ourselves is, firstly, our age criteria. It's for Indians 28 years and above. And because what we are building is for singles who are looking for a long-term, substantial relationship. And I really like to thank you that you didn't call it matrimonial, because I call it a matchmaking service where you decide what kind of committed relationship you seek. The second thing that what we do on And We Met, it's a known fact that most of the matchmaking services in India, 60% of the profiles are fake. So what we are doing from our side is trying to build a trusted service where we ask our subscribers to upload a government-led KYC document, which is not connected to your bank. So it could be a passport, it could be a driving license, where we make sure of your age, your photograph, and your gender. And plus, we're also making sure that the photographs you upload is, if you say you're 40, you're actually 40. I mean, the photographs is that of your current age versus what you were at 20. So that's what we're building.
Thank you so much for that. To Diksha. Diksha owns a very quirky jewelry brand. And one of the struggles she faces, she was telling me, was that the designs get stolen and copied very often, because these are also available in many different markets, even locally when you go. So Diksha, how do you manage that? How do you tackle that? And how do you remain relevant in today's day and age?
I think I'm audible, right? Yeah. So I think copying is a part of the process. I think everything gets copied, right? Like you'll make a reel, it'll get copied. You'll create a jewelry, it'll get copied. So I think you need to learn to accept it that, okay, it's gonna get copied. Now, a few things that I think, I have, पहले ऐसा होता था कि I used to feel bad about it, but now I've come to a realization that if your products are getting copied, it means it's worth getting copied. Like people are talking about it, number one. Number two, I don't think anybody can ride on anybody else's success for far too long. You need to think, you need to be creative, you need to be original. And most importantly is what I have figured is that people who copy us think, इन्होंने क्या बनाया हम भी वो बनाते हैं. But on the other hand, how we think is, हमने ये बना लिया, अब हम आगे और क्या बनाएं. I think to be ahead of everybody else, to be smart, to be original with your ideas is, it's what's gonna make you you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said. Shalini, you built this business in your 40s, which traditionally, by societal standards, is known as too late, especially for a woman. So, did you tackle any biases in this journey, and how did you do that?
Are you saying that what I should just give up and go? Like what? Like no. So I don't think. I mean, I personally believe that age and gender should not stop you from following your dream or your ambition. So yes, a publication wrote about me, and that goes all over. But I think you need to see more than my age. Right? How does it matter? If I have it in me at any age, it shouldn't matter. And no, I think, I also think that what I am building in my 40s, if I would have built it in my 20s, I wouldn't have that life's experience which I had to build what I'm building. So to answer your question, I think it doesn't matter. You could be of any age and do whatever you feel like if you have the grit in you.
Can you give me an example of how, what kind of insights you brought to the matchmaking industry, which if you did it in your 20s, you'd think differently, especially about matchmaking and dating?
That's interesting. So I guess, look, so what I am building is a service, where singles find love. But the kind of the communication that we are, the kind of blogs that we are writing, or so you can find, you find your love in 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I think actually to that also there is no age on when you can find love. But I think the way I personally think on the content that we write versus the content I would have written whilst I was in my 20s would have been very different. 20s for me was very, love is perfect, love is pristine. Love is very Bollywood, love is very Shah Rukh Khan, but let's accept it. In reality, your self-love is very important, and if you love yourself and if your partner loves yourself, there can be nothing that can hold you. And I'd like to also mention, that's why specifically, I did mention the age that we start off with, it's 28 and above. Primarily, to be honest, we are targeting 30 and above, because in India, we know when the girl turns 30, right? It's like, and she's single. There is so much of pressure on her to get married, and she'll make the wrong choice. So I just want to celebrate singles and say, take your time. If it's the first time, second time, or the third time, it's absolutely okay. And actually, I'd like to mention another thing. I do predict that in the coming years, we're going to see individuals have at least 4 to 5 long-term committed relationships versus 1 for a lifetime. So, yeah, which I wouldn't have said if I was in my 20s.
Yeah, absolutely. Diksha, you're also a plus-size fashion influencer apart from running your own brand. And it's parallel businesses for sure, it's parallel careers probably. I want to know from you, how important is it to adapt to change in both these fields?
I think you need to adapt in any field, right? Like she said, कि आप 20s में कुछ और सोचते हो, आप 30s में कुछ और सोचते हो, you're adapting, like your body or your mind is adapting. So, but yes, when it comes to content creation and when it comes to being an entrepreneur, you need to adapt to every little thing. Like, today, you will call me and you know me as an entrepreneur and a creator, but I'm also a videographer, I'm also an editor. In this enormously long cab ride, I had to multitask 6 things. And I think that's true for anybody sitting here. You have to adapt to every little thing. अगर reel अभी algorithm बोल रहा है ये करो आप ये करोगे, अभी algorithm बोल रहा है. When I started as a content creator, I would write blogs. Like, that's how my love for content creation started. I would write those chitta long captions. And people would read, like how people think that आजकल नहीं पढ़ते हैं कोई, but पहले लोग पढ़ते थे. And I would write those enormously long captions. And Instagram used to be more about photos, etc. And then it moved on to reels, and it moved on to even shorter form. Like पहले 1 minute की video आई, फिर 30 seconds, 15 seconds. Things keep changing. So you need to adapt to every little thing. Sometimes I forget that I'm close to my 30, like I'm 29, I'll turn 30 this year. I sometimes forget that. But when I see this Gen Zs and people who are interning with me, and then I realize, yaar, ye to kuch aur hi kar rahe hain. And then there's so much to learn from them. So irrespective whether and even when you're juggling between being a content creator and an entrepreneur, there's again so much to learn. How to learn to manage 2 teams, how to learn to manage work when you're not there, right? All of those things. I think all of us sitting here, anybody working, non-working, we are adapting to a lot of things. My mom, who is a housewife, has adapted to the reel culture. She knows how to share my content on Facebook and ask people to follow my page. That's adapting, right?
Tell me one more thing. How do these 2 parallel careers affect each other? Does it help your business to be an influencer? Or is it like a very draining thing where you need to sort of cater to 2 different audiences on 2 different pages?
मैं हर वीक में एक दिन सोचती हूँ एक काम बंद करना पड़ेगा. But कुछ होता है and then you're like, नहीं यार, it's both of them are worth it. And yes, being a content creator helped me start my business. And being an entrepreneur now also helps create a certain authenticity to my content. It also gives me fresh perspectives. They are both very different, career paths. I don't I create content on fashion, but then I'm not selling clothes per se for plus sizes, right? So there are 2 different career paths. It's not like क्योंकि मेरे followers है तो वही मेरी jewelry खरीद लेता है. Even though I started as a content creator and I had let's say 15-20,000 followers, then when I started my business page, today my business page has more followers than my personal page. So I'm not riding on to anybody's success on any of the other pages. Both are very individualistic pages. बहुत बार ऐसा time आता है जब अभी जैसे there was a very big thing that happened in the business. I couldn't create content for a month, and I did not, because for me, my content needs to be very authentic. I cannot force myself to bring something to the audience when I'm not feeling that. And I think my audience also realizes that I do 2 things at a time, and they are just there, just waiting. They're very sweet, waiting there, कि हाँ जब डालेगी तब सुन लेंगे. So yeah, that's about it.
To Shalini, I want to know from you, I personally think that women are conditioned and shaped from childhood through the experiences they have. And a lot of them are affected by women around them, whether they are bosses, whether they are mothers, however it is. How has that shaped your life, and how do you think it shapes most women's lives in terms of support as well as conditioning?
So I'll talk about how it shaped my life first, and then I'll give an opinion of otherwise. I was always told, while growing up, somewhere I was always told that subconsciously that I'm going to get married, right? Through my growing up years, but I was also told that I need to have a career, right? And then and I see that. I just feel that I wish there was a change in not telling me that you have to get married, right? Because my father was in the forces, limited income, so trousseau, so it was subconsciously done. It was not saying कि तेरी शादी होनी है, but the trousseau was getting collected. Kanjivaram saris, if somebody is going to the south, somebody is going to northeast, so like bone china dinner set, things like that, right? Whilst I didn't get married, okay? So all that, when I didn't get married from the age my mom or dad, or my mom rather, not more than my dad, my mom wanted me to marry. So somewhere I felt that there is something lacking in me because things didn't work out. And the primary reason why I didn't get married when they wanted me to, the boys' parents, not even the boys, when they came and they would meet and they would go, the next day when my mom would call them, they would say, Ladki kali hai, the girl's dark complexioned. Okay, so now because, you go to the salon, you remove your tan, but when you're young, you're out in the sun. So on that basis, actually that was also a seed for me to start And We Met. Because on And We Met, we don't ask your complexion. We don't ask your complexion, we don't even for your body type. We give an option rather not disclose. I don't agree with it because you cannot, objectify any individual on the way they look. Because I promote that, I say, why don't you go meet the person? So going back to your question, I think if women support women, the world will be very, very different. And it starts from your mothers. If the mothers stop telling the girls that your value is to be a dutiful wife and a dutiful mother, and they stop telling boys that your value is just to go earn, that's a pressure indirectly put from your growing up age. I think if that stops, we would see it starts from home. And then, at work, if a woman is doing well professionally, we hear other women say she may have slept her way through. Even if she has, what's to you? She's gone up, she's reached there, right? So we're always trying to pull down women, and I think if women support women, nobody can stop us. So yeah, so those are my views here.
Very well said. Diksha, a lot of you here may be Shark Tank fans, and you may recognize her from there. Diksha went on Shark Tank 3, the latest season, and even secured funding from 2 of the sharks. I want to know from you, how has the business been since the show aired, which was, I think, a couple of weeks back?
Sorry. Yeah. Yes, I think it was as expected. The business was booming. The website visitors were 10x. The sales were 4-5x. मेरी रोज़ डिलीवरी वाले भैया से लड़ाई होती थी कि भैया आधा घंटा रुक जाओ और पैकेजेस ले जाओ. We had to double our staff, we had to work a lot overtime, and I think more than anything, the kind of messages you received, the brand received, my team received, and the kind of recognition that us as a small business, we started out as on Instagram, right? And there are so many women out there who run small pages or run businesses from their homes or at a very small level, and they're constantly told things like hobby hai, ghar se kar rahi, and those very cringy things, right? Very icky things. I think wo video, wo episode dekhe, there were a lot of messages coming on how they felt like they had received a recognition, and it felt the best message, how the most amount of messages were like how it felt like a personal win. So that felt very great. I remember when I had applied to Shark Tank, and my husband and I, we were just talking, and I was like, yaar, mujhe na bas jana hai yaar. And on the same week, somebody I had met, like a person who lives in the same colony, he asked me, what do you do? So I told him, I run a jewelry business. And he's like, acha, to ghar se karti hogi. Like, and in that tone, ki, haan, kuch side mein chota mota chal raha hai, right? My husband and I, we bought a home, we bought a house. Nobody would ask me ki kitna, the message would always be directed to him ki, acha, kitne paise diye? Ya, ki, how much have you paid? It would never be how much have both of you paid, right? Like, almost as if that the career that I have is not something that brings money into the house. Although on the contrary, I make probably triple the money that he makes. But that would never occur to anybody, right? And I just wanted to give that platform that nahi yaar, ek chota business bhi badi soch rakhta hai. And I think, yeah, that energy that you received within you and that energy that people received around you, that was phenomenal. Like, of course, the sales were skyrocketing. We got over 40,000 followers in a period of a month. Otherwise, it would have taken me a year to do that. But yeah, all of those things really did matter. And then I'm sure people who watch Shark Tank then start realizing that, oh, we saw her on Shark Tank, right? So yeah.
That recall value, absolutely. I'd like to open up to the audience if you have any questions and you want to direct it to either of our guests. Please raise your hand and we'll find a way to reach a mic. Can we get her a mic?
Thank you. So, first would be that it reminds me of one saying that सुंदर लड़कियों को अच्छे घर मिलते हैं, because I read a lot of Hindi and I come from Uttar Pradesh. So, कहते हैं कि सुंदर लड़कियों को अच्छे घर मिलते हैं, तो माँ ये बता रही थी कि सुंदर लड़कियों को अच्छे घर मिलते हैं, वो अच्छे घरों में जाती हैं. माँ औरत की अच्छाई नहीं मर्दों की कमज़ोरी बता रही थी. तो ये that sits on you. And दूसरा for my question is for you. So when you do this, how does this Insta works? I think most of us are interested in knowing, and I have a brand called Janki India. I'm trying to do it, but I have to hire somebody or the other from outside, and they don't justify their job as a one freelancer or intern sitting at your place does it. So I have a company, I've hired them, but I'm not getting much results. So I want to learn that. If you can just give us gist. So, and there are buzz about this algorithm, ऐसे होता है, Insta hashtags, but मुझे आज तक समझ में नहीं आया. I want to learn this one gray area. I'm doing very good on Twitter, but I'm not great on Insta. So
Ask the right person, because so many of her reels go viral. It's not
I
funny.
think she has to just take our reel and then do that favor. Please do that.
Acha, I'll give you a thing insight here. I had a digital marketing agency before I started content creation and before my journey as an entrepreneur into the jewelry field. And the primary reason I left it was because the brands that I was working with were not interested in storytelling. They were interested in कि मेरे products अच्छे दिखने चाहिए, ठीक है? And the founders would take a step back thinking that agency सब कर देगी. अगर agency सब कर देती, तो agency अपना business करेगी ना. वो अपने products बनाएगी. They will be able to sell the world, right? I think what a lot of people lack as founders, you need to bring forward your story. Like I will give. अच्छा, शायद ये मैं समझ सकती हूँ कि बहुत लोग बोलेंगे कि स्मॉल बिजनेसेस में आप बोल सकते हो, बड़े लेवल पे नहीं बोल सकते हो. बट सी लेंसकार्ट, राइट? लेंसकार्ट इज अ ह्यूज एग्जाम्पल ऑफ हाउ पीयूष बंसल ही इंटरैक्ट्स विद हिज फॉलोअर्स, ही क्रिएट्स रील्स, ही इज इवन देयर ऑन एन एड विद करण जौहर. लाइक that's how he could have hired any actor, right? But then the fact that he came there, I think people now know him more than ever. People now value Lenskart more than ever. Every time there's a new launch, he's there. And I think, I'm not saying that I follow his footsteps in any way, but that's great. That's great strategy. So I think founders, especially at a smaller level, need to be more interactive, need to share their story, need to have their own voice and opinion, because in today's time, Instagram is a great tool to sell your products. You just need to convey your story right. And even I don't even say that कि आपको रोज reel डालनी है, रोज post करना है, but even the ads that you are running now, if you see more and more ads, a lot of founders are talking in their videos. Like वो time चले गया जहाँ पे एक अच्छा photo दिखाओगे and people will like हाँ खरीद लेते हैं, because just like your brand, there will be so many other brands selling the same thing. How do you differentiate? It's the story, it's it's the technique in which you are conveying your message. I think that matters a lot. Forget hashtags, forget जो अब bracket में लोग comma डाल के लिखना शुरू कर दिया है. Forget everything. Be authentic to your content. Like, I have seen my father make random reels, but the fact that he is adapting to the technology, वो उनका कोई business नहीं है. But he does like mutual funds and all of those things. वो LinkedIn पे है, वो WhatsApp पे है, वो Twitter पे है, वो Facebook. He's on all platforms even if I am not there. God forbid he's on Tinder. I don't know. He's making some contacts there also. ठीक है. But the idea is that you need to put yourself out there. Don't rely on an agency alone. Build a team. Today while I'm here, my team has understood मेरा thought process to start a brand क्या है, and they can create the same vibe in my absence. It's not that difficult. 3 months into it, and you will know how to crack your page.
We can do one more question. Is there anybody else who has a question?
हेलो, मेरा क्वेश्चन शालिनी मैम से है. जैसे कि आप मैट्रिमोनियल्स के लिए काम करते हैं, जो फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड हम मैरिज की बात करते हैं, वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं. आज के समय में बहुत सारी परेशानियां आती हैं एक मैरिड वुमेन को अपनी फैमिली के साथ, बिजनेस के साथ जुड़कर एक सक्सेसफुल हाउसवाइफ बनना और एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना. तो ऐसे में हमें एक ऐसा साथी चुनना चाहिए अगर हमारी एक मैरिज फेल हो जाती है. मैंने बहुत सी ऐसी वुमेन्स देखी है कि सेकंड भी फेल हो रही है, थर्ड फोर्थ, बट वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि अच्छा लाइफ पार्टनर हमें मिल जाए. कभी किसी को कुछ प्रॉब्लम होती है, कभी किसी को कुछ प्रॉब्लम होती है. तो मुझे लगता है कि कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें भी हमारे जो मैरिज है उसमें जोड़ देनी चाहिए, जैसे उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स हो, ताकि फेक मैरिजेस ना हो. तो ऐसे में आप क्या टिप देना चाहेंगे सभी वुमेन्स को कि हम अगर अपना साथी चुनते हैं तो कैसा चुनें?
तो आपका क्वेश्चन है कि अगर हम प्रोफेशनल्स हैं
यस
और हम एक पार्टनर ढूंढना चाहते हैं
जी,
तो हम कैसे चुनें?
यस कैसा होना चाहिए हमारे को एंटरप्रेन्योर अगर हम हैं?
ठीक है, तो आप एंटरप्रेन्योर हो या एंटरप्रेन्योर ना भी हो, होपफुली आप तभी चूज़ करोगे जब आप 21 या उसके ऊपर होगे. यू विल बी 21 और ओवर, राइट? अगर आपको कोई छुट्टी पे जाना है, आपको पता है छुट्टी पे कैसे जाना है? कि आप लोगों से पूछ के छुट्टी पे जाते हो. सो पता है आपको. अगर आपको कोई ड्रेस खरीदनी है, राइट, या सम आउटफिट खरीदना है, या कोई ज्वेलरी खरीदना है, कोई शू खरीदना है, राइट, आप 3-4 ब्रांड्स देखते हो, आप उसका फिट ट्राई करते हो, राइट, आप फर्स्ट वाले को नहीं लेते, राइट. तो होपफुली आप इफ यू आर एन अडल्ट, यू नो व्हाट टू ईट. आप क्या कपड़े पहन के आए हो आज, आपको पता है. सो इट्स नो डिफरेंट. लुक फॉर अ पार्टनर, just you know what you want. So only thing what I would say here is differentiate between pet peeves and deal breakers. तो क्या हो रहा है कि deal breaker is more on values and personality, but pet peeves कि अगर like literally अगर and because we are women here, so अगर लड़का ट्राउज़र ऊपर तक पहनता है and आपकी आप मिले, बोलो ये कैसे कपड़े पहन रहा है, and you get turned off because of that, and he could be one of the most nicest person. So you're not, we're not going ahead. So I'm just saying is try and meet him again. Try and figure out. So like for example, for And We Met, we also have this thing where, we talk about Date Smarter, and people can sign up and come and talk to me. So I had this woman who came and she said that she's met someone who's fantastic. He's 32, he's fantastic, whatever, so he ticks all her boxes, except that when he eats with his mouth open, and it's not working out for her. So I don't give suggestions, I ask questions when people come and talk to me. So all I just asked her was, कि अगर वो मुंह बंद करके खाए, if he closes his mouth and eat, will he be fine? She says he'll be perfect. So then I said, what should you be doing? So she said, I should be telling him. So I said, yeah, instead of talking to me, and that's what we are doing, we are not communicating. So I said, why don't you, because, men only listen to you shuru mein, okay? After that, you don't listen to each other. So I said, whilst this is fresh, why don't you ask him to tell 3 things about you that irritate him or that, you know, he feels you should change. And in that, you tell him 3 things, and in that, he's going to listen. He will actually carefully listen, right? So see what we do as a platform, what we are doing on AnviMed's side, we are trying to get you real people, right? End of the day, I know that people blame platforms कि देखो I met this person there, वो platform खराब है. वो platform खराब नहीं है, आप जल्दी में थे, right? So I mean, so I don't know if I've answered your question, but I can't give an answer कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए.
Thank you so much for that. I think this was a very enriching session. Thank you to both of you for joining us today. Thank you, Smriti.
What an insightful panel discussion. I'm sure various pointers discussed here would definitely give us new thoughts, new learnings from here. And I would request Ms. Samriddhi Bhattacharya to kindly come up on the stage and felicitate all our panelists. Can we put our hands together and appreciate the kind of learnings which we have gained from here? Disha Singhi. You can stay back for a group picture also. And Shalini Singh, founder of And We Met. And Roopsha. And we have these lovely gift hampers from our gifting partner, Shehnaz Hussain. This is very vibrant and lively. And I would request you all for a group picture also. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are privileged to have with us Mrs. Sonal Goyal, IAS Secretary, Government of Tripura, for a special guest address. Highlighting her celebrated career, Mrs. Sonal Goyal, an IAS officer of 2008 batch, has been dedicated to the service of the nation for 15 years and has recently become an author of the book, National Calling, Holistic Approach to UPSC Civil Services. Let us all put our hands together as we welcome Mrs. Sonal Goyal. Ma'am, I request you to kindly come forward for a special guest address. And we will indeed be privileged and inspired by your words.
Music. Thank you. Namaste and a warm, very pleasing good evening to all of you, to all the lovely ladies, to the guests, to the organizers of this very esteemed and an important event, which is celebrating the women entrepreneurs across the country, the Nari Shakti of our country, हमारे देश की नारी शक्ति जो अपनी टैलेंट से, अपनी प्रतिभा से, अपने साहस से, अपने करेज और इनोवेशन से एक नए मकाम को हासिल कर रही हैं और दूसरों के लिए भी इंस्पिरेशन बन रही हैं. I think to begin with, I would like to congratulate all of you who are going to be felicitated and all of you who are making strides in your life in achieving what you actually aspire for. A huge round of applause for all of you. Few days back, we all celebrated the International Women's Day on 8th of March. And we all have been seeing how across the country from different blocks, districts, at the state level, national level, we had series of events which were celebrating the Nari Shakti, and it was a kind of a reformation, it was kind of a reminder to all of us that yes, we still need to work a lot. When we talk about gender parity, when we talk about inclusion in the society, and this year's the theme has been Inspire Inclusion. Accelerate growth through the financial empowerment of the women. And when we talk about financial empowerment, that is most important and that is most crucial. And it is therefore platforms like these, the Jagran media, the HerZindagi. I've also had an association with HerZindagi when they featured my story, I think few months or an year so back. So all these kind of initiatives are truly a welcome step because they not only act as an inspiration or as a motivator to the person who is getting felicitated, but also they act as an inspiration to all those who are reading about it. The power of social media. One lady, I think Diksha ji, who was actually telling about, she was sharing about the power of Instagram, how she is using the Instagram. I am also using my social media platforms, which is now close to almost 2.2 million. And that is like from last few years, I have been using the tool of social media to share the positivity in the society. Coming from a background, if I talk a bit about my journey, so I have had my parents, my family based in Panipat district, Haryana. And I'm sure you must all have heard about Haryana being a patriarchy-dominated mindset society. So my journey into civil services has been quite different. I was not a student who had a dream starting from the school days that yes, I want to become an IAS officer. No, it was not like that. It was very late. Almost when I was doing my graduation, I was about to complete my graduation from Shriram College of Commerce, and I was also doing my CS. It was at that time that I read about civil services in one of the college magazines. And it actually gave a kick to me from inside, and I kind of thought that I should try to be in civil services. But then when I discussed this with my family, with my parents, initially nobody agreed. Because the first and foremost question which came to their mind was that what is the need of you going into civil services? Why is that required? And then the other thing which always comes to the mind is that this is always very uncertain, because if we see the statistics, it is like 10 lakh plus aspirants fill the prelims form and the selection is in few hundreds. So there is no surety, there is no guarantee, and then I already got my placement in my third year in 2 very good MNCs through my college placement cell. So this discussion debate went on for almost 5-6 months. It took me some time to convince my parents, my family. Then my father said, okay, if you want to do, we will not hold you back, we will support you. But he also suggested that I should have a fallback career option. So having a fallback career option, he mentioned that if you are not able to clear civil services even after investing 2-3 years of your prime, of your youth, then what you should be doing, there should be a kind of a roadmap in your mind. There should be some idea. So I well accepted his advice. My graduation was complete. In 2004, my CS was also complete. In the same year, I appeared for my LLB entrance from Delhi University, because somehow I thought that if I am not able to clear civil services, then CS LLB would be a good combination for me being entering into the corporate sector. So I started my law. I also started my job on a part-time basis as a company secretary, because I wanted to earn and finance my higher studies and also to get some professional experience. And then, of course, my aim and my passion of being into civil services, that studies I started. So primarily from 2004 to 2007, these three things were moving parallel in my life. My focus was on civil services preparation. I was doing law, regular course classes to be attended. I was also doing my job on a part-time basis. So things were not easy. I appeared for my first attempt in 2006. I reached up to the second stage, but unfortunately, I did not get my interview call. So basically, that was a first failure that I had in my academic professional life. So, of course, I was demotivated because that was a kind of a challenge which I had taken to my own self. Nobody had forced me to even attempt for this. So I was demotivated, depressed, uncertain, apprehensive. So I took a break for a few days, and then I gave a commitment to my own self that yes, now whenever, whatever chance is available to me, the second attempt should be my best attempt. And I should not have any repentance that I did not give my best. So then I learned where I felt why didn't I score good marks? And I tried to work on removing my lacunas. And it was in my second attempt. I appeared in 2007, and my final results were announced in 2008, May 2008. And in my batch, I got selected. I got All India rank 13th in UPSC Civil Services. And then, thank you. That was probably not read in the introduction. So, anyways, so we have so many inspirational women to talk about. So I joined civil services after my cadre allocation. I went to Tripura. I was allotted to Manipur Tripura cadre. And frankly, initially I had a lot of apprehensions because I had always stayed in this part of India, Delhi, Haryana. And I never even traveled that far. So things were not easy, and especially I had always been in a conservative, a kind of a protective environment. So things were not that, mentally I was not that happy. But then when I went there, so I also gave a challenge that yes, I am in this service because of my own passion, because of my own will. And yes, this is an opportunity which has been given to me, and this may be a godsend opportunity. And I will utilize it to my maximum benefit to serve the people, to serve the country, the aim with which I appeared for my civil services examination. So I started touring, and it was a kind of so much welcoming reception that I received from the people and people of Tripura. It's a very beautiful state in the northeastern part. And we have a mix of Bengali population and the tribal population. Majority speaks the Bengali, so I learned Bengali to communicate effectively, to reach out to the people. And I started touring. So there were initial days of my postings were in field in the tribal areas. And there was a subdivision called Ambasa, which was my first posting as SDM Ambasa. And therein I actually saw that there are still, at that time, 2010, way back in 2010, so there were still few areas which were not connected properly by roads. So to reach to those tribal hamlets, one has to walk to 7, 8, 10 kilometers. So I made it a point that my all administrative camps as an SDM would be only in those remote locations. So when we started touring, we actually saw that the health, Anganwadi center, the education sector, the school, they are not functioning well. Why? Because of the lack of connectivity. And the people are not able to reach the officers who are posted. They are not able to commute daily. So what we did was a very small experiment of the power of collaboration. And we collaborated with the local BSF. Tripura has a very good presence of BSF, having the longest border in the country with Bangladesh. So we approached the BSF commandants and we requested them that you please give us the place for accommodation for making our official stay on a weekly, like Monday to Friday kind of a thing, and then they would go back on weekends to their family and then come back again on Monday. So we requested, they accepted, and then it was a kind of a very small experiment, but it actually helped because the officers who were posted, they were given accommodation, they were given all kind of system to stay, and after a gap of few months when we had our reviews and reassessments, so we actually saw that yes, there is a great deal of difference in the way these were functioning earlier. Of course, there were proposals for the construction of roads, etc. That was there, but we knew that road construction would take time. So what immediate solution we could do is that, and that was actually very, very successful, and then we implemented in many such paras. In local parlance, we term them as paras. So it was done in many such locations. And after that, I moved in Tripura in my capacities as the collector, as commissioner of the corporation. I moved to Haryana as on intercadet deputation for 4 years. I worked here. And here also, I was generally in field as collector and commissioner. And when we talk about the cause of women, the cause of gender, the cause of parity, equality in society, that has been always very, very special, and it is always very close to my heart. Why? Primarily, firstly, because as a woman, as a female, I have also felt that yes, there is a need to improvise. I have myself experienced so many things, even as part of administration, like officer, as an IAS officer, as a female IAS officer. People also ask me that, do you feel whether there is any discrimination or the society is equal or the administrative systems are equal? So I always respond to them that yes, even till today, the society is not equal. And women have to keep proving themselves. There is always a kind of a paraphernalia which will be kind of doubting you, and you will have to keep proving your intention. You have to keep proving that yes, you are committed. And what so happens with us as a woman, it is not only in civil services, it is also in every profession, even for a housewife, that when you want to aspire to do something for your own self or to excel in your career, your family responsibilities would also increase. You are getting married, you are giving birth to a child, you are becoming a mother. So there are some mandatorily responsibilities which are given to a woman by nature, by the reproductive system. So that how we balance, there lies the beauty. Because it should not act as an impediment. Of course, there are some provisions of taking medical leaves, taking childcare leaves, taking maternity leave. But I certainly feel that they are not sufficient. There needs to be a lot more support as far as the male counterpart is concerned. It is also important that the male counterparts in our families, they also understand. And now situation is changing in a very positive way. Now we are seeing how in the working couples, the males are also like, they are taking responsibility at the domestic front, taking part in the children's course, in their school things and also. Even me as an officer, I always feel that two men have been very important in my life. My father, whom we lost last year on the day of Dussehra, he battled for cancer for almost 2 years. But he was the one who actually gave me the confidence, he gave me the wings to fly. He actually, he never held me back. He always was there whenever I wanted to do something. He was the one. सोसाइटी में, फैमिली में कोई कुछ भी बोले, जब मैंने पढ़ाई भी अपनी सिविल सर्विसेज की कर रही थी, तो उस टाइम में भी क्योंकि मेरे जो कज़न्स थे उनकी जनरली उनको ग्रेजुएशन तक पढ़ा के, फीमेल कज़न्स को पढ़ा के ग्रेजुएशन तक उनकी शादी कर दी जा रही थी. तो सिमिलर वॉज अ रियलिटी एक्सपेक्टेड फॉर मी. बट देन माई फादर सेड, बिकॉज देयर वॉज क्रिटिसिज्म ऑल्सो फ्रॉम द रिलेटिव्स, बोलते थे कि आप इतना क्यों पढ़ा रहे हो, ग्रेजुएशन हो गई है, CS हो गई है, इसकी शादी कर देनी चाहिए, सिविल सर्विसेज के लिए घर में क्यों बिठा के रखा है, वो तो शादी के बाद तैयारी करके भी दे सकती है, अगर उसका किस्मत में लिखा होगा तो सिलेक्शन ज़रूर हो जाएगा. बट देन माई फादर सेड कि नो, दिस इज़ हर राइट, एंड ये एजुकेशन एक ऐसा राइट है जो मेल और फीमेल दोनों बच्चों को हमें देना चाहिए. And when I qualified, then those were the people who actually congratulated my parents, मेरे father को, कि we knew that she has been a brilliant student and she has made us all proud. So there are some people in your life who would always be with you. And of course my father, my mother and now my husband. So मुझे मेरे father ने ये हौसला दिया, ये confidence दिया कि मैं दूर नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जाके भी जो मैं चाहती थी, मैंने कोशिश की मैं वो काम कर पाऊँ. और आज मेरे हस्बैंड हैं जो कि मुझे मेरे ज़िंदगी के हर पड़ाव पे मेरे साथ में हैं, एंड ही एक्चुअली सपोर्ट्स एंड ही हैज़ एक्चुअली नर्चर्ड मी एज एन इंडिविजुअल. एंड जो भी मैं करना चाहती हूँ. He always encourages me and I am so blessed to have him, and also I have my 2 kids who are also very supportive, very understanding, and I think this is what is required in our family, in our society, that we have to nurture each other. And it is also important that we recognize the contribution. हमारी लाइफ में ऐसे बहुत से लोग हैं जो हमारे लिए एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम होते हैं. सो वी ऑलवेज शुड have those people in our lives. That is also very important. And for women, I would like to just say that for our journey, for our path to success, our share of struggle would be a bit higher than the male counterpart, still in the Indian society at least, because still we are having many things, whether it is the mindset, हम जो सोच की बात करते हैं, हम जो behavior की बात करते हैं, या जो हम एक कल्चरल नॉर्म की बात करते हैं. झज्जर में मैंने एक कैंपेन हमने चलाया जिसको हमने नाम दिया था सोच पे दस्तक. Why I named it as सोच पे दस्तक was because it was a knock on the mindset. Whatever social ills and whatever social evils we are seeing in the society, which are actually making the women as the victim, whether it is the gender-based violence, whether it is the lack of access of opportunities in terms of education, in terms of, higher education, in terms of training, employment. So one major aspect of that is the education, is the mindset. So we actually need to have more and more discussion on how do we change the behavior of the people, how do we change the mindset. So whenever we are talking about mindset, it is important that we have the male counterpart also to be included in those discussions, in those seminars, so that they should listen. हम जो नारी की चौपाल वहाँ करते थे, तो नारी की चौपाल आई एम श्योर आप सबको पता होगा कि एक उसमें फीमेल्स जो ग्राम सभा में जो महिलाएं हैं, जो पंचायत में सरपंच हैं, महिला पंच मेंबर्स हैं, the active women and the household women, they are encouraged to come and debate and discuss, and they discuss the issues. What we did was that we also encouraged the male in the villages, male in the block levels, कि वो भी आके इसका participation उसके अंदर करें और वो भी उसको समझें कि issues क्या हैं. Because they need to actually understand that yes, this is a problem. If the gender-based violence is being done, it is done by the male. हम बच्चियों को पढ़ाते हैं, लिखाते हैं, लेकिन अगर उनके अगेंस्ट कोई क्राइम होता है तो कहीं ना कहीं वो जो पेरेंट हैं, उनके जो पेरेंट्स हैं, उनके माइंड में एक डाउट आ जाता है. उनके नेबरहुड में अगर कोई इंसिडेंट हो जाए तो कल को कि हमारी बच्ची के साथ भी ऐसा हो सकता है. सो दे बिकम हेजिटेंट टू काइंड ऑफ allow their girl child to move out of their home in the late evenings to go for their coaching institutes, and this is happening even today in the rural part. Few days back I was in such similar award event organized by some organization which was based in the media. So वहाँ पे श्रीमती आशा देवी को बुलाया गया था. She is the mother of Nirbhaya. We all know about Nirbhaya, and she is the mother, and she is running now a trust called the Nirbhaya Trust. So when she was speaking on the dais, she spoke so much from her heart. It was very overwhelming, and she said one thing, that while we are celebrating the women power, while we are felicitating the women power, we should also understand that आज भी इस वक्त भी हमारे देश में कहीं ना कहीं किसी बच्ची के साथ कोई दुष्कर्म और कोई क्राइम हो रहा होगा. सो वॉट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट इज़ कि हम अपनी बच्चियों को तो एजुकेशन संस्कार अच्छे दें ही, साथ में हम अपने घर में जो मेल चाइल्ड है, जो लड़के हैं, जो बॉयज़ हैं, उनको हम ये एजुकेशन ज़रूर दें कि दे हैव टू ट्रीट द फीमेल विद पैरिटी, विद इक्वालिटी, विद इक्वल रिस्पेक्ट. That is very, very important. So here also comes the role of us as sisters, as mothers, कि हमारे घर में भी जो boys हैं, जो young boys हैं, because they are going to be part of the future generation. So it is also important that they are nurtured, they are groomed to treat the women equally. During COVID-19 pandemic, there was a data which was released by the NCRB. At that time, I was posted in Gurugram. So there was a data which was released by NCRB, and that data has showed that the cases under the Domestic Violence Act, the cases reported under the Domestic Violence Act 2005, there was an increase in the number of cases in the last year during the COVID-19 pandemic. So what does it indicate? It actually indicates that the male counterpart is feeling frustrated, and he is probably not missing his social circle, his normal office routine, and he is not getting a way out to vent out his feeling. And therefore, he is subjecting the female counterpart in the family to harassment, to gender-based violence, which is totally unacceptable. And these are recent data, 2022 data. So what we need to do is that we have to keep empowering ourselves, supporting each other, and also have that confidence कि हमारी life में मुश्किलें ज़रूर आएंगी और ज़रूर से ज़्यादा आएंगी. मतलब महिलाओं की लाइफ में जो मुश्किलें हैं वो ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा आएंगी. आज अगर हम सिविल सर्विसेज के आंकड़े देखें तो मैडम अन्ना राजा मल्होत्रा in 1951 she became the first woman ICS officer, and when she was selected there was a caveat in her condition, in her service condition, that if she marries she will have to resign. So that was a service condition put in 1951. Later on it was definitely removed, and she also married to one of her batchmates. Now if we see the result, last year the UPSC civil services results which was announced in 2023, we saw that 34% of the total selection is the woman candidate. That has been the highest till now. If we see the representation of women in parliament, we are now, India is now having the Lok Sabha elections in 7 phases, and we'll have a new parliament in the month of June. So if we talk about the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, the Women's Reservation Bill, which is talking about 33% reservation in the parliament, we also, it is a totally a welcome step. But what is most important is that the women who are there on the political seat, they are exercising their rights and powers, and they are actually aware of, because आज भी जो गांव में जो सरपंचेज हैं, महिला सरपंचेज हैं, महिला पंच मेंबर्स हैं, उनको पूरी तरीके से अपने अधिकारों के बारे में नहीं पता है. और जो मेल काउंटर पार्ट है उनके फैमिली में, जो सरपंच के जो पति हैं, उनके ससुर हैं, उनके रिलेटिव हैं, उनके ब्रदर हैं, वो हैं जनरली मोर देन I should say 60-70%, they are there who are ruling the show. So what we need to do is, as a society, as a collective society, is that have such initiatives. Jitne bhi I am not aware of like who all have been felicitated, but I am sure you are all doing good work. We also need to concentrate on the rural India, because therein lies the actual problem. Therein अर्बन एरियाज़ में फिर भी एक्सपोजर है, फिर भी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं, वी हैव गुड एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, बट वी नीड टू हैव मोर फोकस ऑन द रूरल पार्ट. As part of government, we have always tried to do whatever best we can. We have also tried to have the collaboration. So public-private partnerships is something which I always support if I feel that there are some entities who are genuinely going to work for the interest of the people. And वहाँ पे जाके if you work, you will feel that there are many females, many young females who are getting dropouts because of lack of menstrual hygiene, because of lack of school sanitation facilities, because of lack of connectivity to their coaching institutes, so they are not able to complete their education. So if you all, because you are all having that capability, you're all having those resources, and the most important thing is you're all having that genuine intention which is driven by the public spirit. So let us all have that kind of collaboration, have that commitment that yes, महिलाएं जो ग्रामीण आंचल में हैं, जो लड़कियां जो पढ़ना चाहती हैं, जो आगे कुछ करना चाहती हैं, let us have some initiative which supports them, which guides them, which mentors them. And we definitely will have many such women, many such females excelling. We have seen how women in India have been shining in this space when we talk about the Chandrayaan mission, when we talk about the sports, when we talk about women in health, how during COVID-19 pandemic, they as part of the nursing medical fraternity, how they have been proving their mettle. So what we need is to keep supporting them, to keep nurturing them, and to celebrate the women and the Nari Shakti. That is most important. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has been always putting this emphasis on Nari Shakti. Our former President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he said, I have the opportunity of meeting him once. So sir has said that empowering women is a prerequisite for a empowered nation. So therefore we all need to emphasize, we all need to nurture, and we all need to contribute towards this cause. The seminars, the conferences like these, the Jagran, which is being organized today, are such a welcome step. My congratulations to the entire team, and may we all keep prospering, keep helping each other. And towards the end, just few lines of the poetry which are just coming to my mind, which are dedicated to Nari Shakti. I would conclude by mentioning about them. कि कोमल है कमज़ोर नहीं तू, कोमल है कमज़ोर नहीं तू, शक्ति का नाम ही नारी है. कोमल है कमज़ोर नहीं तू, शक्ति का नाम ही नारी है. जग को जीवन देने वाली तू सबसे बलशाली है. जग को जीवन देने वाली तू सबसे बलशाली है. So a woman gives birth to a new life. So therefore there is nothing which she cannot do. What is important is that have that courage, have that innovation, have that confidence, self-confidence. Positive self-belief, I think, is the most important. Have that confidence in you, have those dreams and have those spirits always high, and keep giving your efforts. We cannot achieve our success when we don't give efforts, so keep giving your efforts, and let us all keep helping, keep nurturing each other, keep supporting each other. Thank you so much for inviting me at this esteemed audience, esteemed gathering. My congratulations once again to all the Women Power, to all the Nari Shakti. Thank you so much. Nari Shakti Zindabad. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much for sharing your story on our platform. I'm sure it has dared many women to dare big, to dream big in their life and achieve big in their life. I would request Mr. Gaurav Arora, COO of Jagran New Media, to kindly come up on the stage and felicitate Mrs. Sonal Goyal. We would request Mrs. Sonal Goyal to kindly stay back. You can collect the gift hamper and the felicitation certificate as well as bouquet. As we have the next award segment, and we would request Mrs. Sonal Goyal to present these prestigious awards. The first award is Trailblazing Tech Leader Award, and the winner is Mrs. I beg your pardon, Miss Samriddhi Bhattacharya, Director of Small Business, Dell India. Miss Samriddhi Bhattacharya, Director of Small Business, Dell India, Trailblazing Tech Leader Award. Founder of the Year, and the winner is Sonam Srivastav, Right Research. Sonam Srivastav from Right Research, Editor's Choice Investor Women Founder of the Year. Innovative Entrepreneur of the Year, and the award goes to Miss Divya Ranganahalli, Founder and Creator, Media Connect. Miss Divya Ranganahalli, Founder and Creator, Media Connect, for Innovative Entrepreneur of the Year. Congratulations. Congratulations, Ms. Divya. And the next award is Fashion Entrepreneur of the Year. And the winner is Tanushri Bayani from Anar. Tanushri Bayani from Anar, Fashion Entrepreneur of the Year. Congratulations, Tanushree. And this brings us to our next award, which is Beauty Entrepreneur of the Year. And the winner is Ritika Jaiswal from Nourish Mantra. Ritika Jaiswal from Nourish Mantra, Beauty Entrepreneur of the Year. Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you so much, Mrs. Sonal Goyal, for joining us and helping us celebrate the women power today. And ladies and gentlemen, we will pause here for a minute as our team is setting up the stage for the next set of awards. We request your support and patience as our team is setting the stage up for the next set of awards. We request your patience as we'll be taking a pause of a minute to present the next set, the third set, the final set of the awards. Well, this brings us to the third and last set of awards. And to present these awards, I would request Mr. Gaurav Arora, COO of Jagran New Media, to kindly come up on the stage and present these awards, these prestigious awards, to our winners. The first award is for Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year. Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year, and winner is Riddhi Agarwal from Spaceman Spirits Lab. Since Riddhi could not join us, there is a video message from her. Let's listen in. But before that, there is someone from her team who will come and receive the award on her behalf. And after that, we'll listen in to the video message of Riddhi Agarwal, winner of the Lifestyle Entrepreneur of the Year. And we'll be playing the video message from Riddhi Agarwal on her receiving the award.
Hi everyone, I'm Riddhi. I want to start off by thanking everyone at HerZindagi and the WomenPreneur Awards for giving me this honor. I would have loved to have been there in person, but I unfortunately couldn't make it because of work commitments. But thank you once again and cheers.
Congratulations, Riddhi. And with this, we have come to the next award, which is Sustainable Brand of the Year Award. Sustainable Brand of the Year Award. And this award goes to Priyadarshini Krishnan from Root and Soil. Priyadarshini Krishnan from Root and Soil. Can we have you on the stage, please? Congratulations, Priyadarshini, for receiving the WomenPreneur Award 2024 for Sustainable Brand of the Year. Coming to the next award, which is Creative Industry Entrepreneur of the Year. Creative Industry Entrepreneur of the Year. And the award goes to Devanshi Gupta from the Marcom Avenue. Devanshi Gupta from the Marcom Avenue. Creative Industry Entrepreneur of the Year. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Devanshi, Creative Industry Entrepreneur of the Year from the Marcon Avenue. Congratulations. And next award is for Woman Icon of the Year. Woman Icon of the Year. And the winner is Santosh Agarwal from Policy Bazaar FinTech. Her team will come on her behalf to receive the award. Santosh Agarwal, Policy Bazaar FinTech. This award is for Woman Icon of the Year. Also, we have a video message from Santosh. Let's listen in. I would request my team to kindly play the video message.
It is with great humility and honor that I accept this award, the Women Entrepreneur Award. Thank you to the organizers and the jury for giving me this award. I would also like to congratulate the Jagran team in celebrating women's success. And I'm sure this will go a long way in inspiring a lot of women to pursue their goals and dreams. I'd also like to express my sincere gratitude to the leadership team at Policy Bazaar, namely Yashish, Alok, Saravveer, who've been instrumental into shaping me the person I am today. They've empowered and built a company where equity and empowerment is truly celebrated, and it creates a truly meritocratic environment that really helps people who are serious about their careers come up the curve. Thank you so much once again, and cheers to all the women out there.
Well, congratulations, Santosh. Let us see who is the Woman Rising Star of the Year. The Woman Rising Star of the Year goes to Vidisha Bhatwal from Paprika Gaon mein. Vidisha Bhatwal from Paprika Gaon mein. Her team will receive the award on her behalf. And then we have a video message from Vidisha. I would request my team to kindly play the video message from Vidisha.
Thank you, WomenPreneur Awards 2024, for giving me the award for the Rising Women Star of the Year. Thank you so much. It's my honor to be a part of your show. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations. And this brings us to the last award of this evening, which is Woman Social Entrepreneur of the Year. And the winner is Prachi Kaushik from Vyomini Social Enterprise. Prachi Kaushik, ladies and gentlemen, let us with a huge round of applause celebrate the excellence of these women entrepreneurs who have worked really hard to prove their mettle in the business sector. Congratulations to all the winners, and thank you so much, Mr. Arora, for your kind gesture and helping us present these prestigious awards. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the second edition of WomenPreneur Awards 2024, recognizing her excellence by HerZindagi.com, the lifestyle vertical of Jagran New Media. It was indeed our pleasure to host you all for this occasion, and we are indeed indebted to each and every one of you who have joined us to celebrate our endeavor. I, on behalf of Jagran New Media and HerZindagi.com, extend our heartiest gratitude to all our eminent guests for their august presence. And everyone in the audience who attended this event, we are grateful to you. And our sponsors, without whom this event would have not been possible. Our banking partner, IDBI Bank, our networking partner, ABWCI, and our gifting partner, Shehnaz Hussain. Our gratitude for your support. And let us all once again put our hands together for the excellence which we have celebrated this evening. We hope to see you again next year. Till then, I will be taking your leave, and I would request you all to kindly join us for the dinner. And please, it will be our pleasure to host you all. And let us all catch up for the networking dinner. Thank you.